It's the easiest repair I've ever made and one you might need to do as well, and it's coming up next. Visit DcSoundOp.com. Stickers are back in stock, or submit your kit to be in an upcoming episode. DcSoundOp.com, linked below. Money is tight right now, and I think everyone is feeling the pressure when it comes to making any type of spending decisions. When money isn't coming in, it's easy enough to avoid buying new gear. Maybe you've sold off some things you're not using anymore to bring in some extra cash. But the one thing that's really hard to get away with for very long is cutting back on maintenance. The longer things sit, the worse any underlying issues become, and in some situations that can lead to big problems. I had a small situation like that recently, and I'm sharing it really only because of the number of other people I've met in the last year or two that are using this specific 2015 MacBook Pro in professional work. I know I can't afford to replace this one right now, but not repairing it for a couple of months nearly destroyed it. The last time I traveled with it was actually to the NAMM show in January. I only really take it on trips where I'll need it specifically for editing or for like transferring files or some specific task. Otherwise, I typically travel with a cheap Windows PC to avoid unnecessarily damaging this more expensive machine. I remember on that trip noticing that the lid wasn't quite lining up and closing correctly when I arrived at the hotel and got things set up. I figured it had been bent in my backpack maybe, or going underneath the seat in the plane, and I was pretty thankful, honestly, that the screen wasn't like actually damaged. I got home from that trip and I didn't really use the laptop much, and not long after that we all stopped traveling. Some months later, I needed to connect a console, though, for a firmware update, and I was out of reach of my desktop USB cable, so I grabbed the MacBook Pro off the shelf, and I'm really glad I did at that point, because instead of a simple bent lid from a bad flight, it was really obvious now that something else was going on, and that something was a seriously swollen battery. Now, it's really hard to show how bad this was here on camera, and there are some truly catastrophic failures you've probably seen before online, but at the point where I could no longer close the lid all the way, and for how tightly packed components are inside of these products, seeing the metal bulge and bend like that was pretty alarming. While the biggest concern for modern batteries failing is piercing them somehow on a sharp corner or edge of a component, creating a huge fireball, a less dramatic failure is when they simply swell enough to bend and crack and break surrounding circuit boards and components, leaving me with a laptop in this case that would be very difficult to justify the repair costs. So what to do? I love a good repair. I've fixed tons of Apple stuff before. This should be really easy, right? Not really. I think it's important to know when to leave things to the professionals. Not that replacing a battery is technically challenging work, but when one is swollen like this and held on with strong adhesive, I want someone who's done it before, who has safety procedures in place if it goes wrong.
The exploded containment pie dish.
And who already has a reliable and researched source of replacement parts on hand.
Why Apple and Customs seized batteries to a computer that at their store they will no longer service.
And that's why this video is relevant, not only for battery repairs, but for anyone else trying to keep an aging Apple computer working for any reason. Who can you call? I took a chance and phoned Louis Rossmann's shop in New York City after watching a ton of his YouTube videos where he mostly does component level repair on MacBooks. I asked if they could do it. They said sure, quoted a price that was just under $200, including parts, labor, and return shipping, and told me to send it anytime. So I packed it up and sent it to them really quickly through FedEx, being sure to declare the battery on the shipping documents. That's important. The whole system for sending in repairs to them was super easy, but definitely read their instructions and don't deviate from them. This is a New York City shop and they are serious about their rules.
Good afternoon.
You can let them know ahead of time how much work they should do before they need to call you for price approval. And that's really nice, knowing you won't get any big surprises when the repairs are done. You'll know about what they're doing before they do it. Within a week, I tracked my computer's progress through their automated system, and it actually showed up back here a day early in the regular mail delivery. And this was while a lot of folks in the United States were experiencing major mail delays, so I think we just got lucky on that one. Overall, this was a simple repair for Rossmann Repair Group. They knocked it out quickly, got my computer back to me without any drama. That's the real important part. And I appreciate not having to take the risk of doing it myself, as this computer is definitely out of warranty. And I thought the price was very reasonable, considering it did include parts, labor, and return shipping. I don't know anyone at the Rossmann Repair Group shop beyond this experience, and as far as I know, I'm just another customer to them. I can't speak for any of their other work either, but for the small subset of professionals who are hanging on to 2015 and earlier MacBook Pros for as long as we can, every resource and trusted repair avenue is to be taken into consideration at this point. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what kind of repairs you avoid and would you have tried this one. I'll see you next time.